Welcome to the Travel Squad podcast, where adventure meets inspiration. We're your hosts. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Jamal. Together we explore international destinations, hike epic national parks, and share unforgettable travel experiences with you, one passport stamp at a time.
Our mission is to inspire you to travel by showing you how you can make it work no matter your budget, schedule, or experience level.
We bring you along so that you can laugh, get excited, and start planning your own trip.
So grab your ticket and your passport.
And don't forget your travel insurance.
And get ready to embark on a new adventure with us around the globe. Hey Squaddies, Travel Squad Podcast is back with Just the Tip, our Friday mini episode series where we give you quick travel stories, hacks, and recommendations to set you off into the weekend right.
Today you have me, Jamal, and Brittany to share our experience using TAP Airlines Stopover program to visit Lisbon, Portugal, and our premium class experience that we also had on our flights.
TAP Air Portugal is the country's flagship carrier, and they offer flights across Europe, Africa, and the Americas with a strong focus on connecting North America and Europe through Lisbon and Porto hubs.
TAP's known for its modern fleet, friendly service, and that Portuguese hospitality. TAP also provides a range of travel experiences from economy to premium classes, including its stopover program that allows travelers to explore Portugal during layovers.
So first, we're going to go over the TAP stopover program. And this is the first time that we've ever used a stopover program, but we're hooked and we're actually planning on booking another stopover trip next year. So stay tuned to hear more about that. But what TAP Air Portugal stopover program is, it is a program where you're allowed to fly through Lisbon or Porto to get a little mini vacation up to like 5 nights at no additional airfare cost.
Yeah, and the program also provides special hotel rates and curated travel experiences, although we didn't take advantage of that while we were on our trip in Lisbon because we stayed at an Airbnb. But it's still a really beneficial service that they do offer, and you can rest assured the next time that we go to Lisbon or Portugal, we'll definitely be sure to utilize those services if we're not staying at an Airbnb. But before we get a little bit further into other things that go on with the stopover program, I just kind of want to reiterate what you said, Brittany, about how it allows you to spend time up to a certain amount of days either in Lisbon or Porto without an additional charge. So we flew from the US to London under one separate reservation. And then we had reservations via TAP specifically from London to Funchal, Madeira, which is their Portuguese island. You have to route through Lisbon. And of course, when we were flying back home, we wanted to spend time in Lisbon. So yes, even though you're routing through there, a lot of times a reservation will have a price, assuming you are leaving that day. You're just there in the airport for a quick little layover, but you can spend a certain amount of days in Lisbon or in Porto with this program without them charging you extra. Because let's just say a few days later, if you bought it kind of as a multi-city and did it that way, the rates may be more because you're buying the airfare at that day versus you're traveling through, you've decided to stop, you're utilizing the stopover program, and they don't charge you more. So I just kind of want to reiterate that and make that clear of what that is.
And in the stopover portal, you can actually select, do you want to visit Lisbon and Porto on your way to the next stop or on your way back from? So in our case, we did it on our way back from Madeira, but we had the option to do it first if we wanted to as well.
And TAP's program also gives you a 25% discount on any additional flights within Portugal. So you'll receive an email once you've completed your booking with the stopover. And so if you want to make additional flights, yes, it would be under a different reservation, but they give you a 25% discount to make those other flights within Portugal to their non-stopover cities.
And stopover programs really just allow you to see, in this case, more Portugal, and it helps you break up long trips as well. So if you are interested in looking at TAP's stopover program, I would recommend booking directly through their website, of course. That's the easiest way to do it. They don't really advertise it online much, that there is actually a third stop in their stopover program, and it's to an island in the Azores.
Well, rest assured the next time we go back to Portugal, we'll be utilizing that because we wanted to go to the Azores on this trip. We just really didn't have the time. So we will be utilizing that and possibly using that location as our stopover.
I was like thinking maybe we should do the Azores and Porto for our next Portugal trip, because this time we did Lisbon and Madeira. And by the way, if you haven't listened already, we have aired our episode on Madeira, Portugal, and we will be airing an episode on Lisbon, Portugal upcoming.
Hello, Finny. Did you think our story was over?
Just the grammar.
This Friday,
You're dead.
Dead is just a word.
critics are saying Ethan Hawke is pure nightmare fuel.
Oh, Finny.
Discover the secret behind the mask.
What do you think happens when you die? It's time to find out.
Black Phone 2, only in theaters Friday. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
So that gives you just a little bit of idea about TAP Air Portugal's stopover program, how we utilized it ourselves, some of the benefits and features that we did not take advantage of that we're looking to for the first time, the next time we go to Portugal and fly TAP. So we wanted to share that information with you guys.
So when we were booking our stopover program flights, for whatever reason, there was only the option to book the premium class flights to Madeira. And so we were like, okay, well, I guess that's the only option. And the flight prices still weren't bad. So we're like, okay, we'll just go ahead and book it. And we really didn't know what that really meant in the grand scheme of things. But we're going to dive into what the premium class experience is.
So just real quick to preface this also, when we say premium, we may be thinking like business or domestic US first class. This is kind of really what it is with their premium experience here. But keep in mind, we're talking about flying within Europe because a lot of frequent travelers know what airlines describe as business or first class. Within Europe, usually really isn't much more than economy seats with a little bit added extra, right? Of course, TAP does have the normal business class, first class experience that you would expect with a major airline, but that's really when you're crossing continents, right? Within Europe, you're not getting that. You are just getting economy seats here with the middle blocked out, but you do get first class service and treatment while on board.
Yeah, so think of it as a step above economy. So you're still going to be seated in the front part of the plane. Usually it's the first 4 to 5 rows, but that middle seat in between passengers is going to be empty. They aren't going to book anyone there.
So again, these are economy seats, but they do give you that added extra space.
You do get a dedicated check-in experience, priority boarding, and probably one of the best perks is the TAP lounge access.
Yeah, so TAP has their own lounges, especially you will encounter this, of course, when you're flying within Portugal. But we started our journey with TAP in London. And since TAP is part of Star Alliance and Singapore Airlines is also part of Star Alliance because we were flying their premium experience, again, even though the seats really happen to be economy and only blocking out the middle, they still treat you right, like I said. So we got Singapore Airlines lounge experience at London Heathrow included with it. And of course, when we were in Lisbon for our layover before flying to Madeira, we had access to the TAP airline lounge just as well.
I mentioned that you do get a premium check-in experience, and this is so worth it, especially at the Lisbon airport. The Lisbon airport was insane. The check-in was chaotic. The lines were super long, but that's just for general check-in. There's actually a spot behind it where you can do premium check-in, and it was literally such a breeze.
Super simple. If anybody has seen any videos on TikTok or Instagram showing as of late how crazy the Lisbon airport is, that statement that Brittany just made makes a lot of sense. So it came in handy, of course, when we were actually leaving Lisbon, trying to fly back home, because even though that leg of the flight back to London, before we went back internationally to the United States, that was just a normal economy. But since it was booked under one reservation, they still gave us the premium check-in at the airport. So that came in handy. And also when we were in London, because that flight happened to be our premium flight, they gave us expedited security just as well. So you get these added little perks. But when we say premium, please, when you're flying within Europe on tap on this, and again, most other airlines, whatever they describe as premium or first class really isn't what you would expect for those long haul super internationals across the ocean.
Once you're on board, you do have a gourmet food experience served with wine. And I think this is important to mention because we flew economy on the way back and they don't serve water for free or any food or snacks for free. So what a great perk to have a nice meal. And they were actually pretty good, decent meals while you're in the premium class.
And even though you're in the economy seat, please do not think you're getting an economy meal. These are specially catered meals. It came out on porcelain china with real silverware. They gave us real glasses. They had napkins. They were fancifully wrapped around the silverware. So you do get that elevated experience, of course. And even though these were short little flights that we were on, it's just a nice little added touch. And again, for what we paid for it, being forced to, since for whatever reason, when we were looking at those flights, there wasn't any regular economy available, I'm actually really glad that we got to experience this.
You also have a little bit more leg room and a little bit more of a recline in that premium section as well.
But not a lot. Again, keep in mind, we're just saying what they have, but even that little bit extra is extra. But I wouldn't even say it's like a premium economy experience on a long haul international flight either, in terms of the further recline or footrest or anything like that, but just very small. We're talking inches here only.
So we paid cash for this, and this included our flights from London to Madeira. It did have a layover in Lisbon, flights from Madeira to Lisbon, and then Lisbon back to London. And for all of those flights per person, we paid just a little over $600.
Brittany, you just mentioned the cash price. Of course, TAP does participate with Capital One. So if you are a Capital One Venture or Venture X card holder and you're accruing points with them, you can transfer them to TAP as an airline partner and of course secure your flights that way if you happen to have enough. So you can get free flights with your points with the Capital One Venture or Venture X card.
We considered doing that, but because the price was relatively inexpensive, we decided not to. But if you're really looking to save money on airline fees and flights, this is a great way to do it.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
My marathon isn't about time. It's about my 26 friends with intellectual disabilities I'm dedicating each mile to. I'm Joseph. I'm running my first Bank of America Chicago Marathon for Special Olympics Illinois to help give my friends a place to shine.
Join Bank of America in supporting Joseph's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportJoseph. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Speaking of saving money, I wouldn't say this was anything that we did to save money, but it was just happenstance that occurred to us. When we were in the Singapore Airlines lounge in London, I ended up getting a text message saying that your flight from Lisbon to Madeira has been canceled. And it's not, rebooked, delayed. No, canceled. They said that they were looking to secure us other tickets on another flight, but they didn't tell us anything at that point in time. So in that moment, we didn't know, hey, are we arriving there that day? Are we going to have to spend the night in Lisbon? What's going on? Very shortly afterwards, I would say maybe about 35, 40 minutes, I ended up getting a text message and an email saying, hey, they've rebooked us. We had a new flight number. And yes, we were leaving later that same evening and day, but it had us arriving in Madeira more than 3 hours after our original scheduled arrival time. And because of that, under European law, we were able to file a claim with TAP. Of course, we did this upon getting back home, and they owe us money now, according to EU law, since we arrived at our destination 3 hours past. And of course, the cancellation was within TAP's control. So if you happen to be flying TAP, anybody else within Europe, a situation within the airline's control occurs that you are delayed or flight canceled, you are entitled to compensation. So I just want to throw that out there. They finally got back to us saying that we are getting $469. We are unsure yet, because it has not been paid, if that is per person or for the entire reservation, because they made us put in each person's ticket number. And so because of that, Brittany and I each had to file our own separate claim, even though we were under the same reservation. We got the same email. So we're still waiting. We could end up with close to 1,000 or just close to 500 for both of us. But either way, considering that we paid $600 per person for our flights on TAP and we're getting close to $500 back, it's going to offset that a little bit or pretty much negate the cost that we paid out of pocket just because of that flight delay.
So we got that message while we were in London. So we did fly from London to Lisbon, and we're like, okay, when we get to Lisbon, hopefully we'll have an update. We'll figure it out. We did stop in Lisbon at the TAP customer service desk, and there is an expedited line for premium class passengers. So I was able to bypass a big chunk of the line because it was long. I'm sure a lot of people had their flight canceled. So got to bypass that. They did give us $16 in meal vouchers per person that we had to use that day. And so since we had a longer layover there, we were able to utilize that. We did get into the lounge there, and they did give us the information for requesting the compensation. Like Jamal said, once we got back, that's when we filed it. And within a few days, we had heard back on the amount that we were getting. So overall, a win-win.
And I guess just a general rule of thumb, again, flying through Europe, know your rights. I know sometimes it's not very easily readily available to know exactly what you are entitled to. So just Google it, double check those sources. But if you happen to be delayed, ask the airline what you're entitled to. They're never going to just tell you outright. You need to take the initiative. So just take that with you moving forward. But overall, minus the flight cancellation, great experience with TAP. Would fly them again.
Yeah, I would absolutely fly them again. And we mentioned the cash price that they are going to give us back. The other option was to get points and miles, and they would have given us 58,000 TAP points. We just don't know when we're going to be back, and they do expire within 3 years. So we didn't go that route, even though the cash value of those points are more than the cash value that we're going to get.
We hope you found this information in this episode to be helpful and useful to you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Just the Tip.
Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on all the socials at Travel Squad Podcast.
And have fun traveling this weekend.
Bye, Squaddies.
Bye.